This is Nora Othick, your NOMO art tour guide, and this is Richard Johnson, and it's the Richard Johnson Show this month. And Richard is from Brookfield.
That's right.
Went to school,
And
art,
Springfield,
Springfield.
yes.
Lived in Louisiana for quite a few
I was
years.
there for 15 years
Okay, and from St. Louis originally?
originally, yes.
Okay, and now lives in Brookfield, is an artist, and you got a degree in art and you taught for a while, right?
Right.
Okay, so your show has, I'm noticing a lot of roses, a lot of cars, a lot of paintings with circular theme. You told me once what the circular theme was.
Well, I've been building up a symbolic kind of language for the pictures. And I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it's something that ties it all together. I've called these a personal narrative, and I'm in this one, so I'm sideways.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I've got a little face here,
Uh-huh.
kind of working on a logo. Anyway, something to play around with. And so basically, I was using figurative studies, but mostly it's abstract and it's different kind of colors, different color themes going on.
And on either side are a couple of your rose paintings, both watercolors. I'm seeing some really beautiful calligraphy there, the little marks that looks like cut glass maybe.
Yeah, that was one of our still lives. Somebody brought somebody roses.
Oh.
It was probably you, Barb. Somebody brought you some roses. So that was done a number of years ago, and I found it and I went, well, I better do something with it. So I worked on the, you can work into it with the watercolor.
Yeah.
Emphasized it.
You'll have to tell me how to pronounce the title here, I've already forgotten.
Okay, this one is, it's called Grand Coteau Rose. Grand Coteau is a little town in Louisiana. And I had some friends, they had a store. And I'm sitting inside the store looking out across the road. And they had I think they called it a 10-mile art walk. So from that little town to the next little town, they had art galleries and stores. People brought their stuff out in their front of their stores, and they had an art walk. So that was fun.
Yeah. I see the piece of art here, the back of the easel.
Yep, there's somebody's art there in that window.
And this is Pershing's Locust Creek. So I guess you're over at Pershing Park.
I've been stopping there on my way back from the doctor's office in Chillicothe, and spent a little time doing landscape.
Looks like mixed media.
Oh, it's got all kind of stuff. It's got ink and
Watercolor.
watercolors mostly. It's got some colored pens. Got those little colored pens next door at the store next door.
Oh, yeah. You too can get some at the paper station.
Yes, go to the paper station.
Whoa, this is really something different for you. 3 sunrises.
Yeah. My strangely enough, that happened early one morning. I didn't realize how early it was. And I looked out and I went, oh, it is almost sunrise. And so I took my camera and I ran outside and I took some pictures. And the red in the sky, it was pretty awesome. So I've been I've been doing those little studies there to see just how I could work on it. The one is kind of on the red vein and the other one's got more yellows, and the colors in the clouds, that was the striking part. Everything was dark except the right along the horizon. And these guys over here, this, can you tell what that is in the middle?
It's either a cat or an owl. I'd say a cat. Is it?
That's one of the ghost cats.
Oh.
We have many ghost cats on the barn, on the farm. And the Dake Street, that's represents my dad was born on East Dake Street in Brookfield.
Oh.
And the flag, that's my mom's thing. She was really a patriotic person. So we put mom and dad into this painting.
And does the ghost cat represent you in between?
I don't
mom
know
and dad?
exactly, but
Here's the poor sailor's about to go over the edge of the world. Saddest Sailors Lost at Sea, its title. And soon they'll be very lost.
well, just recently I studied, I went online to look up the whole idea of the flat earth, and supposedly way, way before Columbus, they already realized that the earth was not flat. But the very idea that Columbus was headed out into the unknown, he didn't have any idea. He thought he was going to Asia. So he didn't really know where he was going, but anyway, this is my interpretation of a theme.
And we've got 3 small landscapes. Looks like all Missouri. This one's Pershing Park.
Yep, I enjoyed, that particular day. It was rainy, but I got my umbrella out and I sat on a picnic table on a pad and did a little artwork, and
Came out nicely.
it's so nice because it's so close back to Brookfield. I mean, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
not even 10 miles back.
I like the way the colors in patches. It's just like light reflecting and flickering that you see in forests.
It was a neat place because there's a trail way out in there and deep in the woods, and but I like those trees. They were pretty striking.
Mhm. This one feels really hot. I guess it's because the grass looks so dry.
Yeah, I had
Oh, it's called dry grass.
we had property that my sister had bought right next to ours, and I would go over there occasionally and do some sketches. And that one and the one next to it are kind of, one's one direction, the other's the other direction.
Okay.
And now there's a house over there. It's totally different, it's like you can catch history sometimes. And
Yeah.
you don't know it's gonna be gone. It's that, whoop. Now it's, the guy's got chickens over there or something.
Here's another rose piece. It's your neighbor's roses.
Yeah, my neighbor across the road, Ray Bennett, he was quite the gardener, and that was the roses in his front yard. So I took a photo and worked with that to make my paintings.
It's a nice overall pattern, very decorative.
Yeah, somebody once told me that my artwork all looked like wallpaper. Later on I said, well, that's all right.
Yeah. I've been accused or had people say that. Circular theme again.
Yes. You notice this Rock of Gibraltar there in the center.
Was that on purpose or it just happened?
No, that just kind of, there it was. That's what happens when you do abstract artwork.
Yeah.
But that's acrylic, and it's I was using a modeling paste so you can really thicken it up and get textures, and that was a lot of fun.
And a photographs in there, or?
Yeah, it's a collage. The house was, I knew people that lived there when I was in high school. I have no idea who lives there now, but the house was still there, and it was at one end of the street, Eminence, and the one across the way over here was a house on the same street at the north end of Eminence. And later on, you know, like 20 years later, I knew somebody lived up there. So it was like, well, I'm on the same street again. So that's the narrative of my family history. We lived in St. Louis, and that was part of the thing.
And the Blue Note, where's that from?
When I was in Louisiana, I had this poor old blue car. And some fella at work, I had wrecked my car that I had, and he goes, I got a car for you. Hope you don't mind, it's Mama's car, and it's just a plain Jane stick shift. And I said, that sounds fine to me. So there was a place, a club called the Blue Note, and it just fit perfectly there.
There's always a club called the Blue Note. There's one in Columbia.
There is, yes. Very practical name.
Same circular theme going on here?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is, actually, that's the friend who lived at the house over here.
Huh.
And she was in a band. Does she look like she's in a band? She's
Mhm.
posing for the
Yeah.
band photo there.
Yeah?
And it's not totally without purpose, but it's kind of accidental. I ended up with the Gateway Arch motif there amongst the circles. So
Yeah.
it was a St. Louis theme. St. Louis is a big deal in my history.
Yeah. And a couple more roses. This one's particularly beautiful, just very simple, fills up most of the painting. Really nice. Looks like watercolor or colored pencil?
It's yeah, that's mostly watercolor. Even
Okay.
when I came back to outline the leaves,
Mhm.
it was watercolor.
Okay. And a blue rose.
Now, I don't even know if they really have blue roses, but this one, I put some red ink around the shapes there, and it kind of made it pop a little bit more.
Yeah. Let's see, we've got a seafoam bug. Was that a card of yours?
Oh, no.
Just one?
That was from the latest art walk.
Oh, somebody had it up.
They had a car up here, and I painted it. And it's, I came back later and finished it up, but man, you know, when you're doing the art walk, the paint out, trying to,
You don't have a lot of time.
trying to get it done. It's like, you got 15 minutes left, oh no.
And a peace rose.
Now, I had planted a peace rose, but I'm not a very good rose grower. It didn't last. There's a trick to it. I'm pretty sure I don't know the trick.
And was this from the paint out also? Or
Yeah, that was
says an old LaSalle.
some fella in Marceline owned that car. I guess he still does, but he had it all shined up and it was parked down the street.
Hmm.
That's been several years now.
And we'll end with this piece.
Oh, goody.
Your first car. And it was an Opel?
It was a Opel Kadett Rally, which meant it had this, I don't know, it was supposed to be fancy. And my dad made me a deal. Like when you make a deal with your dad, it's not like you really have any choice. But he had a deal for me and says, you get to have this car, but you gotta drive it to the junior college. And right after I graduated high school, we got it. And unfortunately, being my first car, I didn't know nothing about cars. I didn't know you couldn't run them into the ground.
Oh, you can.
I didn't know that they were made out of eggshells. I know better now, but the poor thing, it was a very neat car and it was real fast, so Oh, I treated it poorly.
Oh.
And by the time I took this photo, it was in rough shape. And it was kind of the car was disjointed, I was disjointed, and so I took the photo to represent it.
And how long will the show last?
This will be here until the end of September.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So come by. We're not doing a reception because of the COVID epidemic, but come by and see the work.
Come and go through the paper station. I'll be glad to see you.